Hello and welcome to Faithfully Stampin' with Jennifer Helm. I am Jennifer Helm, the Faithful Stamper and independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And today I have for you a simple slide gift card holder. This is inspired by Julie Davison, and this is a very quick and easy project. It is a small gift card pocket with a little tag-like insert. So the great thing about this project is it goes together very quickly with minimal supplies and is fantastic for any occasion. So come craft along with me. The first thing you will need is a piece of cardstock that is 4 by 6. You will also need a scoring tool of some kind. It could either be a scoreboard or a paper trimmer with a scoring blade on it like this one. So we have our cardstock. This is a piece of just jade that is 4 by 6, and on the 6-inch side, let's see here, you can take a quick snapshot or screenshot of that if you'd like to. We're going to score it 2 times on the 6-inch side. So the first one we're going to do at 2 3/4, and then the next one at 5 1/2. Just like that. 2 score lines and we're done. Before you put your board away though, one more quick bit of scoring to do. You need a piece of basic white for the inside of your gift card holder. This is basic white that is 2 1/2 inches wide by 5 1/2 inches tall. And what we're going to do is just score it 1 time on the 5 1/2 inch side at 1 inch. So it doesn't matter which end, just pick one of the ends and score it at 1 inch. Now, a quick tip for you, something I find really helpful to do. I like to mark the center point of this piece of paper, and you'll see why in a minute, but we need to mark it at 1 1/4. If you've got a pencil and a ruler handy, you can use that, but I'm going to take advantage of my scoreboard here, or my trimmer, and I have my paper lined up at 1 1/4. I'm just going to take my pencil and put a little tiny pencil mark here so I can see where that center point is. Now I'm done with my paper trimmer. So first step, I'm going to take my base. As I said, this is just jade. I'm going to fold on both of my score lines. You can either use your finger, or if you've got a bone folder, you can go ahead and really give them a good crease. And you'll need some tear and tape for this next step or two. So you need something strong to help keep your gift card holder together. I am going to take a piece of tear and tape and put it along the narrow flap. So that's kind of folded in. Give that a good press. Peel the backing off. My fingernails are failing me today. There we go. And just go ahead and fold that shut and give it a good press to make sure your tape is secure. Now to decorate the outside, what you will need is a piece of designer series paper that is 3 1/2 inches tall by 6 inches wide. So I have a couple quick tips for you on how to apply your designer series paper. What we're going to do is basically just wrap the paper around, kind of like a belly band. And I have found that I don't often get a really tight wrap when I use this kind of technique. So a little trick I figured out earlier. What I'm going to do is just fold over one end of my designer series paper and just crease it a little bit. Not real firm, no sharp edges, but just enough that my paper's lined up so it's going to be on here straight. And this is just going to help me give it a really good fit, because I'm going to take my sleeve and really snug it down in here. I can make sure it's centered. And then I'm going to take another piece of the tear and tape, and I'm going to make this do double duty. I'm going to lay it right on the edge of my designer series paper, so it's securing the designer series paper in place. And I have a little extra, so I'm just going to fold that in so it doesn't show. And then when I fold the rest of the paper over, I can snug it together and press it down, and then my paper is not going anywhere, and I got a pretty good fit for that designer series paper wrap. So next, I'm going to show you how to create the tag insert. Now for this next step, it is helpful to have a tag topper punch. I'm going to use the Delightful tag topper. We also have the Fancy tag topper currently in our catalog, and maybe you have a retired punch, any kind of tag topper punch at home already, so that would work too. And if you don't have a tag topper punch, you could definitely do this. Perhaps if you have a die cut, you could partially cut the top just so it's not square across the top, but you could always just put a little hole and then some ribbon, which we'll get to in a minute. But you're not out of luck if you don't have a tag topper punch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my tag topper punch and unlock it. I have the top where I have my pencil mark, so the bottom is where my score line is. I'm going to fold that up. But what I want to do is center this in my tag punch. Now, this tag punch is actually made for a piece of paper that is at most 2 inches wide, and we've got one that's 2.5. But we can make this work. So take your insert with your pencil mark, flip it over so the pencil mark is down, and feed it into your punch. And then, if you turn it over, wow, I did pretty good with that one. You can see your pencil mark here at the top. So all you have to do is adjust your cardstock until that pencil mark at the center is equal with the center of your punch. And then punch the top. And when you pull your tag out, you will see you have a nice even cut. The reason I use the pencil mark is because when I tried to do this freehand the first time, I was very uneven. I had just a sliver of the cardstock here on the side, and it was really large over here. And when I took my scissors, like so, and I trim across to extend the tag, it looked really wonky. And I thought, oh, I'm going to have to redo that. I need to make sure this is centered. And I thought, just use a little pencil mark. And voila, center punched every time. All right, so this is going to be the insert for our card. So now we're going to do a little stamping and decorating. So I'm using the Peaceful Moments stamp set for my sentiments tonight. And I have some jade green, or just jade ink. I'm pulling all my colors out of this designer series paper. So for the inside of my gift card, I have my sentiment, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. So I'm just going to stamp that on the inside. Don't be too close to the top. And then I also have pre-cut one of these Stitched So Sweetly dies, and this is going to have my sentiment for the front of my card. So there we go. Now, one important thing I forgot to tell you. If we were to take our insert right now, and our gift card if we wanted, and put it in, guess what? It's going to fall right out the bottom. You don't want that. So you need a little stopper. For this project, I used a dimensional. Now you can use the small ones or the large ones. It's up to you. They both work. The smaller ones give you a little more depth to put your insert in, but you can use the large ones as well if that's all you have. What you need to do is just take one dimensional and pop it right on the very inside, as close to the bottom as you can manage without it hanging out the bottom of your gift card. Peel the backing off and give it a squeeze. Make sure your paper's running the right way before you do that. If you use the smaller dimensionals, I would just use 2 of them. Same thing, close to the bottom, peel the backing off, pinch it shut. And now, when I take my insert and put it in the card, it stops. It's not going anywhere. So, I'm just going to finish decorating the card. So my stamp sentiment is going to go on some dimensionals here. Right there in the middle. Obviously, you have to be a little careful with your sentiments, nothing too big. And then I pre-cut some of our dies from the Pierced Blooms stamp set. And so for your decorations, you can either pop them with dimensionals or leave them glued on flat. I'm going to put these on with some mini dimensionals. I'm going to trim down this large leaf. It's just a little too big for what I need. So I'm going to put some small dimensionals on the back of all my pieces here. These smaller mini dimensionals are the perfect size to just have a little coverage on the leaves. So I'm going to start with my leaves. These are in Just Jade. And I'm going to position one at the top, one at the bottom. And then I have one bumblebee flower. This one I'm going to position a little bit over top of my label. And then one in Calypso Coral. This one I'm going to put up top and tuck a little bit underneath. And this looks perfectly pretty, but I decided I wanted a little bling. So I'm going to take some rhinestones, our classic rhinestone basic jewels, and just add one of our mini rhinestones to each of my flower centers. And that just gives a little extra something. So almost finished. One last step. I just need a ribbon pull. So I have some bumblebee ribbon. Just going to take a small length of it. Probably not even that much. And trim. Take your ribbon and fold the edges in so you can feed it through your little tag. Back through the loophole. If you happen to put it in backwards, just go through from the other side. Or if you like the look better, that way. I'm going to trim the edges. I like to have angled edges on my ribbon. And voila! Just like that, a quick and simple gift card holder. Now, I mentioned this is great for any occasion. Of course, this is for birthdays. But I also did a couple for Christmas. I wanted to show you these two. They're virtually identical. The only difference was, for this one, I used the stamp set from the Penguin. It's not Playful Penguins. Just lost the name of that stamp set, but that's okay. The Penguins. And for this one, I used the punch and did punch art with just a little stamping of the face. And I even punched his little feet out. I fussy cut the little package and gift bag there. And then for the inside, I just kept this one simple with some little snowflakes. Now, one thing to note is you are not tied into just having the vertical orientation on this gift card holder. Depending on how you do your designer series paper and what you want to decorate it with, you can actually make a version horizontally. So just stamp your tag horizontally instead of vertically, and then mind your decorations. But this looks perfectly lovely, and you can change this one up a little bit too, just in placement of your decorations on the top. Works either way. And then last but not least, Halloween is coming. If you're watching, it is almost October 2021. So for this Halloween gift card holder, I let the designer series paper speak for itself. I had intended to add another little ghost pop-up, but it was too much. So I just stuck with the Hey Boo, which I added a little ink to with a sponge dauber around the edges. And for this one, I used another punch. I wanted something different than white, so you can use other colors for your inserts. And I punched my greeting then on one of our labels and added that to the inside. Now, if you want more room to write, you have a couple other options. You can just use an accent stamp. But one thing I was realizing earlier is I have my sentiment here. I could very easily fold my gift card, I don't want to say pocket, it's not really a pocket, but fold that back. I could take my gift card and put it here in the back and position, I could even put in a glue dot if I wanted, and then have more room to write here, or I could leave the gift card here in the front with a sentiment and write my message on the back and have more room. So lots of options there as well. And then I have one more Halloween gift card holder. This was fun. I used a lot of die cuts, and just says Happy Halloween to you on the inside. And this shows you just the differences with the orientations on the 2 gift card holders. So like I said, quick and easy, great for any occasion, the simple slide gift card holder. Thank you so much for watching this video. I so appreciate you checking out the craft videos that I post here twice a week. I'd love it if you would hit that subscribe button, and that way you'll see all the videos when they are posted. You can also follow me over on Facebook at The Faithful Stamper. And if you don't currently have a demonstrator that you're working with and you'd like to see a catalog in person, or if you have any questions, you can reach out to me at my website, which is thefaithfulstamper.stampinup.net. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and happy crafting.